Anybody who's a fan of Flying Vs, got to have one of these too.
You gotta.
Kind of can tell by the case what's in here.
I was a stickler with my original V. Of course, you had the case. And nowadays, if you don't have your original case, it really is more suspect, especially with the amount.
Especially with Korina guitars, because there's so few. Yeah. Wrong case is kind of not a good start.
So, I thought this was vibey. So my friend in Canada, Gord Miller, who has a GM Vintage, he was making cases. So I was like, well, yeah. I taught him how to relic cases. And I guess in return, he made me this case. He hand sewed it. And,
wow. That's, it's great.
It's cool. And we all know what's inside of it. So this is a 2006. Quite honestly, I wasn't crazy about the guitar. And I didn't find it very playable or friendly when I had it. There were some things about this guitar that I loved. The aesthetics, clearly. I mean, it's such a classic instrument. For recreation, it still wasn't perfect. I know that what you guys are doing now is about as good as it gets. But in 2006, it left something to be desired. So I called Kim, and we went through it. Wound up with this, which is arguably my best sounding guitar.
Really?
It's a fantastic sounding guitar, and he did a great job on it. The neck wasn't right. The neck was a bit clunky. Now, it's terrific.
So this is the 59 reissue, which pretty similar to a 58, I suppose, but great weight.
Yeah.
Great weight. When you had the original, how often would that come out?
That was in the studio. Whenever I was in the studio, that was in the studio. So again, it was played on Destroyer. It was one of my go-tos for the studio because I couldn't take it on tour. It would have looked like one of the other.
What do you find the Korina does? Because obviously different than a maple topped mahogany guitar and different than an SG and all that kind of stuff. Did you notice a tonal thing with these guitars?
I find them, again, throaty is what comes to mind. I don't find it that different than a mahogany body. I mean, Korina isn't.
It's in the same family, similar family, yeah.
But as far as the aesthetic of it and the design, I think, aesthetics affect how you play. Perhaps it brings something out in the player. I think all guitars do that. You don't play the same on one as you do on the other. And this is, during rehearsals for the tour, whenever I would have this guitar, all the guys would say, that's your best sounding guitar.
Yeah. It's just, perfection of design, just stunning, everything about it.
And this rubber piece.
The rubber pad.
Yeah. It's,
and the Raise logo. There's just so much stuff that I could go on for days.
That's basically like the automobile mentality into a guitar. So this is very much something that you would see on a car.
Cadillac or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a terrific instrument, and it really is, I'm not trying to convince myself or anyone else, but it's really, again, an example of you don't have to have something that's super old to have something that's great.
Yeah.
To me, this pleases my aesthetic of wanting, something vintage looking without having to find it prohibitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic.